Namaste, angels. I'm going to do a client reading. This woman actually ordered her reading about 2 weeks ago. And she was another one that I just haven't been able to do. And the difficult thing is that I can sometimes want to, I typically do my readings on Saturday, my client readings. And I can want to do all of them, that I have. And that's what I try to do. All that I've received during a week, I try to get them all done. Now, sometimes it's just not physically possible. But other times it is, and other stuff, like weird stuff, will happen that I won't be able to get to them. And that's pretty much what's been going on the past couple of weeks with some of these, like just bizarre stuff. Like today, my phone just stopped working. So I had to deal with spring. It was, just like weird stuff. It's not even like Mercury retrograde or anything. But anyway, I'm doing it now, and we're going to see what she has going on. So beginning with the Universal Love Oracle and Divine Guidance to do a spread from the perspective of the masculine. Divine Guidance is pretty straightforward. The moon is representative of, it could be water sign energy, particularly Pisces or Cancer, with the actual moon, Earth's moon, rules the sign of Cancer. The moon in the tower represents the sign of Pisces. But more importantly than that, it is about the guidance that is available to us always, infinitely, right? Here's a big infinity symbol, or number 8, depending on how you turn it and look at it. What your perspective is. Eights are a very karmic number. Karmic as in of the universe, not this derogatory term that karmic has come to be, as it relates to our partners, other, mates and stuff. The moon is about surrender too, feminine energy of surrender. So if anybody has any kind of control issues and has been trying to fight the universe, now is going to be the time they're going to want to move into a place of balance instead. This card for me, very temperance-like, but unlike the sign of temperance, the card of temperance in the traditional tarot, which represents the sign of Sagittarius, this more air and water. And for the obvious reason, because of all the air and then the blue, but also because air signs, our thing is communication, right? That's our trait, particularly the sign of Gemini, right? Gemini, the great communicator of the zodiac, ruled by Mercury, the communication planet, right? But all earth signs, some sort of communication. Aquarius is technology. You might get email and text and stuff. Libra might be some sort of public speaking and integrity as it relates to communication. So anyway, this guy over the communication centers of the body, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, the crown chakra, has these very strategically placed white spheres. And so I always feel like he has something to say, and she's sort of helping him to come around and find his strength, to helping him to restore his zen, his chi, his their balance between them, and in each one's individual balance, but particularly his. Divine Guidance and Emergence. So this is like somebody has been possibly asleep, at least to the extent that they've recently had a growth spurt, a further awakening. Or they may have been going through like a rough time, a dark time in their lives. And with this card, with all the bright colors, the yellow, the white, then, where there's light, there's dark. We have to presume the dark must be from where this person emerged. So this is like a rising again, like a resurrection of somebody. And it can be a resurrection of the union itself. Divine Guidance, one more. I was going to mention when that emergence card popped up, here comes the fire energy. Well, yeah, here it is for sure. Somebody may be an actual fire sign, or this could be representative of like Mars, the red planet, which is a ruler of Scorpio, which could still explain some of the water that we've seen. Currently located in Aquarius. So that would explain also the water and air together. Or it could be Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius, right? Fellow fire sign Sagittarius. And Jupiter, currently retrograde, I mean, not retrograde, but located rather in Scorpio. Had been retrograde there. It's just located there now. And Jupiter also connected to the sign of Scorpio as a fixed sign, in addition to the other fixed signs, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, fellow fire sign Leo. So any of those could be coming up. Divine guidance. That Golden Memories card is about the need to let go of something that is holding you back. Something's like you're about to experience some spiritual growth. You're about to move forward, right? There's been an emergence, and you're about to like enter a gateway, go to a new phase. You can't take some of this stuff from you, especially like the negative cords of attachment and negative emotions and all those things. You can't take that stuff with you. There's the Erykah Badu song, Bag Lady. You're going to hurt your back carrying all those bags like that. You can't hurry up because you got too much stuff. Like you can't move forward until you drop like the resentment and the inability to forgive and, regret, pride, ego, all of these things we have to release and let go. And sometimes they're not just emotions. Sometimes it's actual stuff. Maybe we need to, do some sort of clean with. We're hoarding things. We got stuff from our old relationships surrounding us. We got to get rid of those things. And sometimes it's the old relationship itself, a toxic situation that we're still stuck in. And not necessarily romantic. There are all kinds of, living situations and work and different things that we know we need to move out of, but we stay. And so in order to have this next growth spurt, we've got to drop that stuff. We can't take it with us. The overall energy is Earth connection, representative of Earth signs. So I think maybe at this point we might have seen all the elements. This too, like the fire card we just talked about, not necessarily just Earth signs, because Venus is a ruler of Taurus. But she's also a ruler of Libra and Gemini. So she's like considered the Queen of Swords, but she's also the Queen of Earth and representative of Mother and Mother Earth. So it could be her. She too currently located in Scorpio, and she is indeed retrograde there as well. Could be Mercury, right? Ruler of Virgo, also ruler of Gemini. More importantly, though, it is about our need to connect with Mother Nature, to maybe do some meditation. It goes towards finding that balance and that chi, being restored, helping ourselves to become restored. The universe sending us healing energy. We like receptive to it, receiving it, and putting it, to work. It's sort of like the saying, prayer without works is dead. Like if you pray, you ask for something, the universe sends it to you, God sends it to you. You got to do your part too. Take action. Otherwise, it doesn't, the process isn't completed. So this is about any kind of ways that you can find to spend time with Mother Nature, connect with her, and even especially if you can do like your meditation outside, or somehow with Mother Nature, or bring Mother Nature to you, maybe. I don't know if you have any plants in your house or stuff, like bring some plants in. If you don't have room, like I live in a little, a Manhattan apartment, so we don't have much room in the city, except for like the really older apartments, the big, lofts, and some of the newer ones. But it seems like the more new stuff they make, the smaller they get. Anyway, so we have to come up with other ways to bring Mother Nature inside our homes. You know, so maybe you want, maybe those little like herb gardens you can put on the windowsill. These things help to clean our oxygen, and you know, it's a partnership. It's a relationship with nature, with the plants, because we help them and they help us. I think you get the idea. So, all right, let's do this spread. Divine Feminine. The masculine as it relates to the feminine, himself, and the union. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do toward the union. What he himself is willing to. She wanted us to look at it like the next couple of months. What the universe would have the two do. This is one of those things like prayer without works, is that like you're going to have to affirm that you'll commit to that, and then the universe will fully support you in it and the outcome. Did I mention that love had jumped out as I was shuffling? I don't think I did, but that happened. Feminine. Answer prayer. This is what I was just talking about. We have to follow through. So this card is another one that is representative of air and water for me. And of the air signs, most specifically Aquarius, because she's got this, again, it's strategically placed over the throat chakra, but it's a star. And in the tarot, the star represents the sign of Aquarius. And then she's got on her belly, like butterflies in her stomach. She's got this huge butterfly here, and there's like a little sarcophagus down here by her feet, which is very interesting. I'm not sure what that's about, but here comes the Scorpio, right? But it can be any air or water sign. It doesn't have to be an air or water sign at all. It's about answered prayer, right? That's the more important part. And so you're in this period of receiving and manifesting, right? You make intentions, you manifest. You send out vibes to draw things to you using the power of attraction, you manifest. You pray, the universe, God answers your prayer, that's manifestation, right? So that's where you are now. Keep your thoughts and words that you speak over yourself and your situation, and even, you know, like the planet itself, humanity, positive. The masculine about the feminine. Wow. How awesome are these two cards next to one another? Blessings. And how awesome is it to be thought of this way, right? Very nice. Answered prayer and blessings go hand in hand. I don't think I need to say anything else about that. The masculine about himself, healing sound. So also in this place of like recovery, which is what we saw in that first card, the feminine that was there with the water and air. She was helping him to be restored. This is him working on it. We saw in the collective reading, actually, that the universe was wanting us all to work with these healing sounds. It was right at the heart of the matter in the love reading for the week. And I've suggested binaural tones, but there are tons of different ways to interpret healing sounds and to fulfill the request, right? And to do, you know, follow the guidance of the universe. You can listen to your own favorite genre of music if that helps to restore you. Sometimes just music or just, you know, or dancing helps people to, you know, feel whole again and feel themselves. If that's your thing, do that. People like guided meditation. I'm not opposed to guided meditation unless one might fall asleep. That's the only time I say I don't recommend it if you're in a position where you may fall asleep, because then you're not awake to hear what's being spoken over your life. If I just told you not to speak negativity and stuff over your own life, we can't trust a stranger of what they may say over it, right? You don't know. So, that's the only time I don't recommend that. But if you're going to be awake and you like guided meditation, listen to that. Some people like motivational speaking. Some people like these preachers and ministers and stuff. It's not my thing, but, you know, no judgment from me, like Joyce Myers and all that kind of stuff. Whatever makes people feel, again, restored, part of something, you know, a larger purpose. That's what we're going for. All these cards are very connected to. I don't know if you can see and feel the energy that I can. But not only the same colors, but the halos around the head. Yeah. The masculine about the union as a whole. Boom. Very nice. Congratulations. I love when not only when these cards show up in these spreads, but when they're in like particular placements. You know, isn't this really a nice one to have about your union as a whole? From the perspective of the masculine, higher self. Overall, fear though, surrounding everything. And, you know, that's normal. It's like part and parcel. You're not alone. He's not alone. We're sort of all in this together. There was a song like that too, but I think it went with one of my kids' shows. Something I had to watch 10,000 times. One of those camp movies or something, Disney camp or something. I think so. We're all in this together. Anyway, what the masculine would have the feminine do toward the union, birth. So like allow for a new start, be open to new beginnings, clean slate. It's going to require dropping those bags, you know, going empty-handed. We'll buy new stuff. You know, like when people like they just say, you know what, we're not going to take anything when we move. We'll buy all fresh stuff, all fresh energy. It's like that sort of thing. What is he willing to do here? Love, this is the card that jumped out. And look how nice it is and how strategically it is placed right here under the soulmate. Very nice. That's what he's willing to do. What would the universe have the two of you do? You're going to have to affirm it if you want full support. This is the full support. So you're going to have to, yeah, call on them and ask for that support. Ask for that guidance. And it will be there for you, 100%. You got a little color scheme going up here too, up top with these two cards. You don't have to face this alone. You have them. You see how it's connected? That's what they're trying to tell you. Outcome, the balance, the healing, the restoration, the coming together, temperance. Let's see what the universe has to say. Beginning with gifts. So we talked about spiritual growth already and you know, increasing gifts and awareness. Opening to courting man. Courting man. There's a brunette female. This is the karmic female for me in this deck. Doesn't have to be an actual person, but definitely can be. That third wheel that most of us are familiar with. But when she falls away, new love is there. Courting man. Ice Queen. Again, somebody may be an air sign. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Or, she could be popping up again because of Scorpio. You've seen a lot of that water. And she is currently located there. Venus. Courting man. Young male. This came up quite a few times this week in the love reading as well. And a lot of evidence of May-December relationships, as they say. Older, you know, one older, one younger. Courting man. I'll go one more. And there's the dark male. He too popped up, and he is my representation of the divine masculine in this deck. Courting man. Cut. And the young male is back. Overall energy is long distance. She did share with me that they had been in separation, recently coming back into communication, that he was likely still in another relationship. That's probably who that karmic female was. And now we see evidence of the party of three and of, you know, maybe some distance that had been between. But this card, you know, tends to give me the feeling that you know, we're going to start closing that gap on the distance. And this card too showed up in the reading for the week. So if you haven't seen the collective reading, I would look at that one too. There's a lot of evidence of calmer, stiller waters ahead for all of us. Divine couple, recent past, masculine higher self, near future, blocks the union, what the feminine can do for herself here, what the masculine can do, what the further advice from the universe. But again, you're going to have to affirm first that you will commit to that, and they will fully commit to supporting you in doing it, and the outcome. Divine couple, beauty queen. So this is more Venus for me. Venus is the planet and goddess of beauty, right? Not just beauty, of course, love, money, just abundance in general, beauty, confidence, popularity. So when this card shows up, I can't help but think about her. And that's sort of the energy of the union, right? Growing in beauty, attractive, in that space of law of attraction, of manifesting, drawing things to it. So those things that you guys need, that positive energy that you need, pulling that in right now, because you're attracting. Recent past, young female. This can be a literal young female, but also is representative of like a Sagittarian kind of energy. So it could still be a young female, maybe even further to that, be a young female Sagittarius, or other fire sign. But because of it, Sagittarius, it's also Jupiter for me. Jupiter, again, which is tied to a few zodiac signs. It is located in Scorpio right now, so there's that, along with Venus and Mercury, which hasn't shown up yet, but may. But it's also tied to Scorpio, again, as a fixed sign, in addition to Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus. Taurus, which Venus rules too. Near future, mature woman. There can be an actual age difference here. But also, mature woman is not just literal. It also has to do with growth, for those involved, period. And perhaps including young female. Everybody grows as a result of, anything that transpires here. We're all completing karmic lessons, just benefit one person that's involved. Masculine higher self, communication. And she did say that this had recently started communication and recently opened up. Nothing too heavy at the time that she placed the order, but it had opened up. Blocks. True gem. Can be an air sign, again. Can be Venus, again. As a ruler of Gemini. And then also sometimes this is more metaphorical, and it has to do with worth and deservingness and our lack of seeing ourselves as deserving, as worthy. That is where Venus comes in. But with her going backward right now, that could be affecting people. With her appearing to go backward. Retrograde isn't really... The planets don't truly travel backward, but they look like they do. What can the feminine do here to at least help herself in the meantime? Past life. So, like I said, we're all going through lessons right now. And you know, as part of smaller subsets too. So, you know, you've got your role to play here, and part of it is letting go of some things like from past life issues and working through some karmic issues and of your own as an individual. But that helps the, you know, everybody involved again, and we all grow from that. That helps for us all to complete our lessons when each one does what they have to do. So what's the masculine's task? What can he do? He's got karmic issues too. This is, this card, Fair Male, is a representation for me of the karmic, masculine energy. And again, not necessarily an actual person, but it very well can be. This can be the masculine's actual energy himself in this place of, you know, feeling stuck, because this is like similar to the devil for me from the traditional tarot, representative of the sign of Capricorn and the planet Saturn, which rules Capricorn, and that energy of that feeling of being restricted and not knowing necessarily our way out of our, you know, different circumstances and situations and feelings and fear, and how to overcome that. So that's what he can work on. And it probably is connected to, you know, a lack of feeling of deservingness and worthiness of, you know, a divine union. Because that's with what a lot of people struggle, particularly the masculine. What does the universe have to say would like to help you with? Wallflower, to help you with getting up. You have to affirm it though. Like if you're willing to face your fear, if you're willing to face that fear when an opportunity arises, and you ask the universe for that support, you ask for that guardianship, right? That you come with me, you help me, you know, give me the words that I need to speak. Give me the courage, the strength, the confidence. You ask for that and you commit to following through, because I'm going to take action. I can't do it without you. I need you. That's what they're there for. This card too, representative of the signs of Capricorn, Scorpio, and Gemini for me. Because of all the zodiac signs. It could be anybody, of course. This card also is one of the ones that showed up in the collective reading for the week too, collective love reading. But of all the signs, those three most likely to be invited to the party, you know, because they are people that they tend to be people that others want to be around. Geminis, Scorpios, and Capricorn. But they don't necessarily want to be, not that they dislike people, individuals. Well, maybe, yeah. They don't dislike humanity. But maybe individuals, like they just, not, you know, and it's not personal. It's just like, I don't like people, you know. The people like them. So they're, again, the most likely to be invited to the party, but to be like sitting there like this and not really want to engage. So this one always brings another song to mind. There's a song, you know, that says, if you get the choice, right, you get a free will opportunity to choose something. If you get the choice to sit it out or dance, see these people, there's some silhouettes here dancing in the background. I hope you dance. Right, as opposed to allowing basically life to pass you by. And so that's with what the universe is willing to help you. If you are afraid to get up, or you're weighed down, right? You're restricted. You're weighed down by these things that you're allowing to hold you back. Maybe even getting in your own way. Those are the things the universe will help you with if you affirm to wanting to do it. And the outcome here. Freedom, right? Breaking away from that restriction. How awesome is that? How that played out. But yeah, you got to first say, okay, I'm in. All right, let's do another spread. I like the way this is going. Into the Angel Tarot. We're beginning with the Three of Earth. The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work, be a team player. So this can be, again, representative of some sort of party of three, perhaps at the job, Even in the case of like romantic relationships, maybe it could be people that met at the job and stuff, love triangles that started there. It can mean other things. The Three of Earth, from, you know, more positive standpoint than perhaps a love triangle and stuff like that, is about abundance, you know, so that's cool. And not only is it not only abundance, but abundance that we've earned. So it's not something that somebody's doing us a favor, or that they could very well take from us. It is something that the universe wants to give us, and you know, it's promotion. So it can even be at that level. It doesn't have to be directly at work. It can be elevation, ascension, promotion, again, from the universe, from God. And then it will show up, you know, in different areas of our lives here, because as above, so below. So if God raises us up, if the universe raises us up, then definitely we're in a position here to receive some sort of accolade, award, abundance in some form. The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. And here comes the water energy, Page of Water, intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase, and there are heightened psychic abilities as well. So we talked about that quite a bit already, the growth and all that kind of stuff. Now, this can also be connected to someone being younger. It's the Page of Water as opposed to, you know, even the Knight or the Queen or King. Also, the Page for me can represent, of the water signs, first and foremost, the sign of Pisces, with that being the more youthful of the water element. But of course, it can also be a Scorpio, a Cancer. It doesn't have to be a water sign at all, although very likely an actual person. The court cards tend to represent actual people, but it could be your energy. It can be the masculine's energy, you know. And about a few different things. So it can be connected to your intuition, the need to pay attention to that, maybe particularly when you're at work, or going toward your creative abilities. How can you help to bring about abundance to yourself? What can you do as part of a project, maybe at work or on your own at home, that will, it's a creative project that will bring you some sort of abundance. Could be the Page of Water and the Three of Earth coming up together. And opening to the Tower, life experience. Major Arcana card number 16, life experience. This is the Tower in the traditional tarot, which for me represents the sign of Scorpio. It makes sense, opposite this water. But again, does not have to be a Scorpio. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. The Tower can also have to do with an actual structure, a home or something, or an actual building. It has to do with being swept off your feet too, though, or like a revelation, an aha moment. And with this emotional, you know, message of love that comes in, whether it's a phone call, a text, something in the mail, unexpected or whatever, or, you know, in person even, that can be enough to like sweep us off our feet and surprise us. Something unexpected comes through very suddenly, but opposite again, the Page of Water, I think it's something pleasant, right? That brings you some sort of emotional joy or happiness. Oh, there we go. Page of Water and the Six of Water. Wow, okay. Memories from your history or childhood. Issues regarding children, romanticizing the past. It can be any of those things, but the Six of Water is also a soulmate card, at least for me. And definitely about reunions and stuff too, getting back together with different people, or exes are showing up and all that kind of stuff. And it tends to come around a lot during retrogrades. So it can be, you know, connected to Venus again too. And it is more Scorpio energy. Major Arcana card Renewal, which is judgment in the traditional tarot. And for me represents the planet Pluto and the sign of Scorpio, which it rules. Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. As far as like career, finances, abundance, it's very much like the three of Earth, with which we started, only much stronger because it's major arcana, right? It's about abundance that we've earned. And it can be coming in the form of an actual judgment or something. Maybe we're winning some sort of settlement, a legal situation in our favor because you might be saying, but I didn't work for the legal settlement. Not necessarily, but you've earned it maybe because of your karma, because of your, your prayer, your intention, your positivity. That's how we earn things too. It doesn't have to be an actual legal situation though. It can be anything and in abundance in any form, again, that you have earned through your actual labor or, behavior, actions. As it relates to relationships, romantic and otherwise, so just in relationships in general, business, personal, familial, it has to do with two people, two or more people, I guess, having come to a crossroad, and we need to decide, like, where do we go from here? Are we still going to be friends? Are we still going to kick it? You're not, messing with me no more. I'm not messing with you. We cut it off. You got to decide. Like, where do we go from here, if anywhere? For some people, it's the end of the road. And some people, have a new road that they want to travel. Let's, move forward together, but let's not go that way again. Let's go this way this time. That sort of thing. And then in general, it's about being judgmental, like being too hard on ourselves, like the last spread, the worthiness, the deservingness, not thinking highly enough of ourselves. Like, everything requires balance. Right? Nothing to the extreme is good. So, we shouldn't think overly highly of ourselves. Then we get to that, into the realm of like conceit, right? And that's unhealthy. That's a negative emotion. But we don't want to think of ourselves as, not as unworthy or, not deserving of love, of happiness. We need to be in the middle there, where that's the happy area. That's the healthy area. So that's what that's about. And opening to the Nine of Fire. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. What you've created could be the union itself, right? And to not, let it just be lost unnecessarily. It's yours to take care of. Have courage and believe in yourself. So that can be about facing the fear that we saw. Nine of Fire. And this card really turns up where even if you're exhausted, like I don't think I can go any further. It's like the universe showing up to say, yes, you can. You've still got a little bit more in you. And opening to the Two of Air. Being unable or unwilling to make a decision. A stalemate. Pretending there's no problem. This can be connected to, if you get the choice, you're going to sit it out or dance. Right? You don't know what you want to do yet. Or he doesn't know, or both. It's kind of an energy of non-action, really, which in itself is a decision. It's an action. It's a choice. If we have a decision to make and we don't do anything, we have made a decision. We have made a choice to not do anything and to just let like the chips fall where they may. You can do that. You have the right to do that. I don't know if you're going to want to. It depends on, with what you're presented. Know that you have, you've still got a little left in you, a little more gumption, a little more energy to keep pushing through so that you can face what you choose to face. Nine of Fire. And it is Major Arcana card Awakening with Archangel Gabriel. Look at things from a different perspective. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. Major Arcana card Awakening. I had already done that too. Didn't I already cut the cards? I guess we were meant to come to this because this is interesting. Major Arcana card Awakening, or the Hangman, is about an air of suspension in limbo. And it's Major Arcana card 12, so it equals 3. It can also have something to do with, some sort of party of 3 or something. There's a need to think about what we want to do because it's kind of like time is standing still. While there's this limbo, while there's this air of suspension, time is standing still. So that gives us a choice to figure out honestly with ourselves, what do we want to do before the clock starts ticking again? Let's figure this out. When the Hangman shows up so close to the Six of Cups, I think it really does have to do, and I don't know if you can hear the sirens, but I have sirens behind me for a few minutes now, and I try to ignore them, but they're getting louder and louder. That tends to happen when healing is going on. The end of the universe is letting us know. Okay. As soon as I said that, they just stopped abruptly. Did you hear that? What was I even saying? When the Hangman shows up so close to the Six of Cups, which I guess is why I was meant to do that shuffling again. Definitely can be, with regard, it's showing up because of soulmate connection. And you're guided to, you're first of all reminded that soulmate relationships aren't easy. You probably don't even need to be reminded of that, but you're reminded of it. They're not that necessarily that the picture that's painted by people who are, not actually part of one. They're difficult. They require work, and there's a lot of tests and karmic lessons through which we go. And when you see, or when I see at least, the Hangman near the Six of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Lovers, it says to me that there's a need to be patient, to first of all know that this is the real thing. This is the real thing that, you're dealing with. Don't push it away by, rushing it. There is definitely going to have to be some divine time, and maybe you need some time to align, or maybe he needs some time to align for you guys to come into that balance that we've seen over and over. But like, to trust that it is the real thing and to give it the time that it needs. It's definitely time to be a little bit more patient. Other than that, again, yes, the Hangman represents the sign of Pisces and the planet Neptune, which rules the sign of Pisces, and is currently retrograde there, actually, and has been for some time now. Overall energy is the Hierophant, Major Arcana card number 5, the Hierophant. Traditional viewpoints or methods. Spiritual organizations seek out mentors and like-minded friends. The Hierophant can be about commitment, marriage even. It's about tradition and spirituality, growth, enlightenment. A need to maybe make adjustments to our surroundings, like the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves. Talking about getting aligned. We might have some things, some people. We might be an environment, a physical environment that is not conducive to our spiritual growth. It is limiting. It is toxic. It is low vibe. All those can be the case when the Hierophant shows up. The way I read it, at least. The Hierophant represents the sign of Taurus in the tarot. Again, Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. And can be connected to the other earth signs as well. Uranus, Aquarius, his ruler, has been in Taurus for a long time. Moving us to deal with our earthly matters. It's been there a while, since, maybe like 6 months now. And it's going to be there a while, like 8 years. Kind of the masculine. The 10 of Earth, very nice. A very happy family life, financial security, and finding magic in the little things in life. This can have to do with receiving some sort of lump sum of abundance too. Money or material things. Some sort of sense of security. Job. Masculine surrounded by the 4 of Earth. Talking about practical matters and earthly matters, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, and give it to those less fortunate. It's not just money. It's any kind of abundance. It can be with yourself, being overly generous with yourself, maybe to the wrong people and for the wrong reasons, or restricted and holding back where you should be sharing your energy with another or, with others. Masculine subconscious, the Knight of Water, emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative, falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, and an invitation to a social event. Yes, the Knight of Water makes proposals. He proposes that we do things. I propose we go to dinner. I propose we get married. I propose we enter a commitment. I propose, when I picked up this to point out the possibility of commitment with the Nine of Water, speaking about strength and fortitude and the ability to keep on pushing that the 9 of Fire showed up with. Here is Major Arcana card Strength, also upright right here behind the Hierophant. Good, great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. So anything that we've been holding on to about ourselves or others, including that worthiness or lack thereof, let go of that. Let go of all the stuff that we were carrying, all the negative emotions and things that we're carrying about ourselves, our mate, or, anything that's making us negative, regardless of who it's about or connected to. Let go of all that, taking us all the way back to that first spread and the fire energy that we saw with golden memories, right? Could be connected to this strength or the energy of Leo. And again, the need to drop those things like, hot bags of shit and not walk a step further with them. And the last upright card behind that, also in the element of fire, the 2 of Fire. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. The 2 of Fire is the Divine Union card of the Tarot. It's also about the need to have faith. That's what 2s represent in general, faith. It's about manifestation, right? That we begin with 1, 2 is the next step. We start to, see things slightly take form, or at least we can envision them a little bit better in our mind. I can see this coming to me. And then there's the faith to believe it's really going to happen. All of those part of the 2 of Fire. Crowning the feminine, the Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. It doesn't have to only be career advancement. This is a general spread though, so it definitely can be, but it can be an opportunity in any area. So relationship too, and whatever the opportunity is, it is with someone or, doing something about which you are extremely passionate. Extremely passionate. So you're going to explore those passions, go after them. You are surrounded by the Page of Air, logical, honest, impulsive, and curious, challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. The Page of Air is a Gemini, or perhaps a Libra, an Aquarius, or Venus herself, or Mercury himself, both rulers of Gemini. Venus also a ruler of Libra, fellow air sign Libra. Feminine subconscious. Major Arcana card, the World, another 3. And this one is representative of fire energy for me. I never attributed it to a particular sign, maybe one day I will. I don't know. Maybe I never will. But it's always felt like fire, and it is about fire, the Wands cards and fire, the fire element. It's about movement. And this is about moving on from something that doesn't serve us. that we stayed in way too long. So it can be any kind of situation, circumstance, or even energy. I've just been in a funky ass mood too long, down in the dumps, hard on myself, depressed, whatever it is, too long. And the universe taking you out of that energy now and moving you on to something far better, because you deserve it. You are deserving of it. Yeah, it could definitely be involving a party of 3, though. It can be like the universe ending that party of 3. It's a slower energy than the Tower, because the Tower is also one where the universe is stepping in to change things for us, to help us, handle some business. But the Tower is abrupt. Boom, I came in like Lord Shiva the Destroyer. I knocked everything down. Now let's rebuild it. The world is like, a little bit more paced. Sometimes to the extent that we get impatient. Like once we realize the universe is helping us out of the situation, it's like, okay, I want it over. I want to move to the next step. We try to take control again. And we got to be patient. Crowning. Major Arcana card 2, the High Priestess with Archangel Haniel. Listen to your intuition. Have patience and consider carefully what you want before acting. That's sort of what I said about the Hangman. Well, the High Priestess is a Gemini, and she's crossing the page of air, right? Again, which I also said was a Gemini. She can be a water sign too, in the tarot. But more importantly than that, yes, it's about having faith, and again, continuing to believe, not letting anything like steer you away from your focus. The High Priestess is a person who she's very observant and aware and super intuitive and wise and, smart, right? She's intellectual, and she pays attention to all of these things about herself. And she sort of like absorbs information like a sponge through all these different means, but doesn't necessarily reveal that she never knows any of it, So you might not know how intelligent she is, how intuitive she is, that she picked up on what you were putting down. You might never know. She's only going to reveal that if she has to. At the root. Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor with Archangel Michael. Organization and logic, structure and discipline. The Emperor represents the planet Mars for me, ruler of Aries and Scorpio. So it can be like somebody's boss, an authority, somebody in control. So it can just be you taking back control of your own life. And or the masculine. Sometimes it can be representative of, like a father figure, or our actual father, or an actual father that's involved. At the heart of the matter, the 8 of Air, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. I mean, I don't like seeing it, but I'm not surprised, because we saw this sort of restrictive energy so far in both spreads. We saw it in the first one in the form of fear. We saw it in the second one just now in the form of the karmic male. And there were 2 cards. The other one that was indicative of us being held back. And now here. This can be fear again. That's, showing up as a restriction for ourselves. Or it can be us feeling, and maybe most particularly you, that you're stuck in some sort of situation, unable to move forward. You're not, though. And especially in this placement, it is seriously in your mind, this feeling of being stuck. We're going to look at some Doreen Virtue romance angel cards to further clarify this, to take it from, somewhat from a general to a love. Beginning with express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. And opening to make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Make the effort. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Make the effort. And separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. We've already seen this separation. We've already been there. That might be what you're worried about. Separation. You've been there a long time and sort of, fearful of it happening again and losing the communication. Don't, focus on that. Because again, you have that ability to manifest. But we got to have faith and think positive for this to grow into a 3 and then a 4, right? Where our foundations, we're standing on 4 solid legs. Make the effort. And healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. This is absolutely true. However, it's not just your parents. It's any and everybody that is so impactful upon you that you can't move on with your life, and more specifically your love life. Then you have to heal that. You have to heal that. If you're able to repair it and you're interested in repairing it, then that's what you should work on. Otherwise, then the other way we heal it is by walking away from this. And again, that's the kind of thing that I was talking about with the Hierophant. Sometimes we just don't align anymore with certain people or certain things. And that's when it's time to part ways. Overall energy is passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So again, exploring our passions. Atop the 10 of Earth, the masculine. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So this could be attached to a family situation too, because the 10 of Earth, again, often connected to family and that feeling of security and safety, like in our own homes and our own lives. And if we're having to release and heal the past, we're letting go of some sort of family issue that was weighing on us or something. Atop the 4 of Earth, religious factors. Maybe maybe this breakdown of this family is connected to this because, we have these as humans, ideologies, belief systems, that we got to have a certain picture of family, and we fake it a lot of the time. Things aren't really as they appear, and people aren't happy, and people are in fact unhealthy. And growing up with these, taking into adulthood, these things we should have been able to handle as children. And that's what I'm feeling with this. Maybe particularly because it's sitting here under this forgiving and learning. Because religious factors can mean other things for me too. It often means, for example, a representation of the sanctity of the connection, right? The divine union, the sacredness. That's not what I'm getting right now necessarily. I mean, not to take anything away from yours as far as sanctity or sacredness. I think we already saw that was present. But I feel it connected to the masculine's personal situation, his family life. Atop the Knight of Water. Let go of control issues and allow this situation to unfold naturally. Well, how funny is that? Because I talked about control issues. Somebody might be trying to control things earlier in the reading, and now we have this this sitting here next to where the Emperor is. So it can be that sort of domineering energy, maybe specifically of a Scorpio, sitting here next to the Emperor, which represents Mars, which is a ruler of Scorpio, who's trying to control things. He's going to have to allow the situation to unfold, right? Surrender. To really take us back to the beginning of the reading, the first card I started with, divine guidance. Crowning you atop the Ace of Fire. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So you want to have that new start. One of the ways you're going to go about manifesting that as part of the abundance that we talked about early on in the reading too, is again, spending time with Mother Nature in nature will help you to open up the flow of abundance and to bring about these new opportunities. Atop the page of air. Stay optimistic about your love life. Right. The page of air, page of swords, can be super pessimistic. And, you know, she doesn't mean any harm, right? She's a good person. Logical, honest. She's honest. That's important, right? Impulsive and curious. Can be very, you know, scattered. That's no good when you're trying to manifest. Again, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith. You see it crossing the two here that I said was about faith? Faith is what's going to bring you the romance. So really going into this, taking advantage of this high priestess energy that's available to you. Atop the world, soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So you're coming out of that difficult time where maybe you were unable to get together and you weren't sure what the connection was. And now you're getting your confirmation. And again, being eased out of a party of three situation, quite possibly into one that's more intimate. Let's say that. Atop that high priestess, you deserve love. You are lovable. Shooting it out. So we talked about deservingness quite a bit today too. That's another confirmation of that. And atop this emperor, express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. This, I think, is more so, I mean, it's here in the middle, so it can go either way, but I think it might be more so for the masculine who, again, is trying to control the situation, maybe trying to control his feelings and not seem overly, I don't know. You know how men are. Sometimes they don't want to be too vulnerable, I guess is the appropriate word. But he's going to have to shake that off. He's going to have to shake it off. At the heart of the matter, and it's crossing this. It's connected to this fear that's represented by the Eight of Swords that's here. But atop that Eight of Air is free yourself. Again, the restrictive energy of fear and ego and pride and stuff is what is holding you guys back. We've saw it in every single spread. Fear, 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 restriction. It's time to take back control of your life. So don't try to control the situation. Don't try to control everything around you, but do take back control of yourself and like regroup and regather your strength. Let the universe help you. Call upon it to help you. You know, so that you can break away from these chains that are holding you back. Further advice to the masculine, dating. And again, it's only 2 cups here, right? This is like a 2 of cups under a moon. So it's surrender also, again, to that intimacy. The vulnerability that's going to be necessary in order to get here. To you, the universe says, children. This is like very Empress for me and about the new start. And we saw this turn up specifically for you too in the spread from the perspective of the masculine and with the birth card, right? Being open to a new start, fresh slate. For him, he's the one that's emerging or has recently emerged from the darkness, further awakened, perhaps grown spiritually, you know, all of a sudden had a jump, a jump from where he was as it related to, you know, like dimensional reality into this new stage. So, you know, he's getting his sea legs. Maybe requires some patience for that gateway that we also talked about. You're embarking upon a new phase, a new chapter, and you're going to need to go through a new gateway, but you got to drop those bags first. You need the clean slate. You can both benefit from it. It's not just for him. From the angels to him is the Eight of Fire. Events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over. Many things are happening at once. So energy that was stagnant and not moving is suddenly, right? Again, wands, fire is about movement. This is also, it said eights were about karmic energy. That's the energy of the universe, right? That's the planets. That's the divine. That's what the karma, good, bad, or indifferent, that we've, brought with us from past lives, that we're dealing with now, that we've experienced in this life, that we have to clear away. That's what this is represented by. Things finally getting moving in those areas. Also about communication. So continued communication. Where there's already been some, there'll be, that'll be more. And it's very much the Eight of Fire, especially in the traditional tarot, has always reminded. Look how these wands are being hurled, and they're sort of all over the place. It's always been like Cupid's arrows for me. So it's funny now that you guys are crowned by this "You Deserve Love, You Are Lovable" card, which is very Sagittarian for me also, which is also shown up in this reading. The second spread, you had the young female, which, like I said, represents Sagittarius for me. This free yourself, very much tied to the energy of Aquarius. So that's funny too, because it's like where Mars is. This is Mars right here under the free yourself. He is located in Aquarius right now and has been for a bit. He was retrograde there too. Okay, so your card from the Angel Tarot. The Six of Fire, victory, good news is on its way, public recognition or awards. So this has shown up too, and another reconfirmation for you. I talked about awards and accolades and ascension, elevation, promotion, right? Raise that can be, yes, it can be on this plane, or it can, first start with the divine, with God, with the universe, giving you that promotion, giving you that raise, and then, it'll manifest into something tangible here, because as above, so below. But, what's the important thing is the recognition and the victory, the triumph over, past trials and tribulations. Awesome. Congratulations for what's to come. For what is and for what will be. From the romance angels to the masculine, to getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So this is calling again on that vulnerability. It's requiring it. Your innermost selves, you're going to have to open up. But like I said, I felt already here that something might be shared about an experience, maybe with which he grew up, or something, some sort of family situation there that I feel him sharing about. And lastly, for you, trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Boom. All right, you're gonna have to have faith and optimism, positivity. Only, healthy, positive thoughts about yourself, your situation, and again, all of humanity. And if you need to go outside to do that, you need to spend time with Mother Nature to do that, you need to bring nature to you in order to do that, then that's what you'll do, right? To keep you uplifted and positive and abundant in that energy of manifestation and attraction. I hope that you've enjoyed your reading and you find it helpful. Namaste, Angel.
We got one life, so we not gon' waste it. Living large like the rich and the famous.